Hey, it's Christine Walsh. Welcome to Made for Money, the podcast made for women like you who know they are made for money. And I'm your host, financial coach for the past 10 years, accountant for the past 15-ish years, and previous Wall Street senior vice president turned ski bum and serial entrepreneur. I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot when it comes to money and women. This is season 2 of Made for Money. The first 13 episodes have been about my approach to money and my philosophy to money. It's an approach that's considered outside the box, it's innovative, it's thought-provoking, and it's thinking about money differently. Look, the game of money has changed, but for many of us women, our operating system and how we think about money and how we feel about money and how we act with our money hasn't kept up. And so this podcast is about changing that. My goodness, I am so excited about this podcast today. I cannot wait to jump in. And there are so many exciting things happening in the world of Rebel Rise Finance, which is my financial consulting and coaching business. I don't know if you all heard, but I'm building the first cash flow management software platform for women entrepreneurs and founders. And I am inviting all of you to be a part of it. And if you want to get more information and get notified when the beta launches, I would invite you to check out rebelrisefinance.com/Moneta, Moneta. That is the name of it. So yes, I am building some things, basically building an asset. And it's what we're talking about today on episode 16 on Made for Money. It's one of the key pieces I teach my clients in their business on how to build an asset, regardless of whether you want to sell your business down the line or not. So welcome to Made for Money, episode 16. We are talking about the top 5 assets in your business, the hidden gold mines you're actually sitting on right now, and how to monetize it. And I chuckle about it because there's so many things that I see when I do a financial assessment of someone's business that the gold is already there. People are looking for other things and new ways to pull money in. And we are looking to work smarter, not harder. Assets. Let's get into it. When most people hear the word asset, they think about balance sheets. They may think about real estate. They may think about stocks. But in a business, an asset is anything that continues to create value, creates opportunity, it creates income, even when you don't think you are building an asset. So that's what I really want to impress, that the most valuable assets in our business are basically the ones that are already there. They're not on your balance sheet. And I think most women I work with are sitting on these assets and they haven't even recognized them yet for many, many reasons. You know, what's that shiny object syndrome? I get it too, is one thing. Also, we may get tired. We may get lazy about looking at our business. We may even be resentful of our business. And meanwhile, we have these hidden assets in our business ready to be polished. Just one shout out that I'm doing. I'd love to share some things that I'm reading. Actually, right now I'm reading On Our Best Behavior by Elise Lonin, The 7 Deadly Sins and the Price Women Pay to Be Good. And it talks about the 7 deadly sins, one of them being greed. So a great read if greed is up for you. But in the chapter at the beginning, it talks about assets and basically back when the etymology of the word asset actually is enough. So I think that implies that we have taken the word asset and not thought about it in different ways and stuff like that. But I just want us to bring us back to the etymology of this word, which actually means enough. It implies that you have a sufficient estate is basically where it came from. So just coming back to this idea of the top 5 assets in your business means that they're already in your business today, and we're just here to uncover them. So get this, building your business like an asset. So even consider this, building your business like an asset makes it run smoother, makes it run better, stronger, and without you managing every single little thing. Even if you aren't considering selling it down the line, most people are building an asset or have historically to consider selling it down the line. And that's not necessarily the case. What I've found is that in my clients' businesses, when we're building something, the business like an asset or building assets within the business, everything runs smoother. And so if this sounds like something you're looking for, I'm so glad you're here. So we're going to start small today and identify the top 5 assets in your business and how to amplify them in today's economy. So monetization is where we're going with it. So let's get into it. All right. Asset number 1. You ready for it? It's going to be boring and you're going to be like, "Okay, Christine, come on." Your existing and past clients, customers, patients, etc. I know, boring, but yet gold. These people are gold. And what most entrepreneurs are looking for in our shiny object syndrome world are new leads, new clients, new people, when right in their existing roster of peeps could add the same or more amount of revenue and profitability because of the efficiency factor. The highest converting revenue comes from people who already know, like, and trust you for all you've already done for them. So why not leverage them? And ways to monetize this asset. So again, this is your current roster of past clients, current clients, perhaps even leads that have said no or have vanished, ghosted, etc. So ways to monetize this asset. You can offer advanced services, next level services. What do they need next after they complete the initial service with you? You're reading between the lines of what your clientele are needing at a certain level. In my business, there's another revenue range that people bump up into, and they need a different solution than the people who are at a lower revenue range. You could create communities, you could create alumni, you could create continuity programs, maintenance programs. You could invite them to either events that you're hosting or workshops. And then I think the easiest thing, which I always offer to my clients and really simplifies this, is ask your people what they need next. Have a State of the Union conversation with them and ask them what would be helpful next for you. Your past clients actually already trust you, right? They already know the value of what you do because you've provided that. And yet at the same time, most entrepreneurs are leaving this asset sitting untouched and for lack of a better phrase, leaving money on the table. So I'd be curious, what stops you from selling or offering next level services, products to your existing roster of customers? And where maybe this could be a good place just to speak of the word greed, where the shadow of greedy may come up here, and that would make you not want to. So just be checking in on that. All right, asset number 2. I always say this often because it's about ourselves. Our asset number 2 is ourselves. It's yourself. I feel that whoever they are, can take a lot away, but they can't take away our own internal IP. And so asset number 2 is around our intellectual property, our brain, your knowledge, your frameworks, your lived experiences. Gosh, that's intellectual property. And when you start to hone in on that, examples could be frameworks that you use, processes you use, teachings, tools, systems you use with your clients that may be suitable for many people, right? Taking what you've pulled together over your time of owning your business and commoditizing that. And so ways you can monetize them, right? You put a value to them where it could be a digital product like what I'm building with Moneta. It could be workshops. It could be trainings. It could be licensing. I think a facilitator licensing or coaching licenses. There could be, of course, speaking and books, things like that. It could be podcast. And there can be a lot of ways that we can take our own intellectual property and put that out into the world. And really, this is an opportunity for you to own your expertise. So where are you not owning your expertise? And take a look at it as building an asset for your business. All right, asset number 3, your audience. This is a huge modern business asset that I think of that we used to on financial statements, there is a line item called goodwill. And so that would be more of the traditional past. But this idea of audience is a level of goodwill, right? What you built, if people listen to you, if they follow you, if you have an email list, or how you're showing up with your content out in the marketplace, you have an audience. And audiences these days are really, how would I say it? They are the trust factor at scale. So how can you invite those people in? What ways could that become revenue? And some ideas around that could again be maybe affiliate partnerships or joint ventures. Like, how could you leverage other people's platforms with your expertise, and the trust factor being their colleagues? It could be, again, products. It could be pop-up community events. It could be in-person events or online. So again, this ties in with the intellectual property, but then recognizing that your audience is also one level beyond as another asset. I really think that's a cool one to consider, because I know for many of us that there's probably an email list there hanging around, whether it's 50 people on it or 500,000 people on it, that there's an asset there, and there are people in there that want your work. All right, asset number 4, your team. Gosh, this one hits me so deeply, because so many times I hear my clients and founders indicate that their team is almost like a liability instead of an asset. And actually, this is where founders can actually hit their next level when they consider leveraging their team. If you are doing everything yourself, you don't have a business asset. You basically have a job. Just putting it bluntly there. So think about, what could your team run for you without you? What knowledge do they hold? What expertise do they hold that they would love to step into? And you see them in their zone of genius. What services could they lead? So examples could be team-led programs. It could be, in my case, they're junior consulting or delivery support. When you consider your team as part of the value creation and the revenue creation, your business becomes bigger than you. And when you think of each team member as a profit center, not in the spirit level of humanity. Every human they're human and they're valuable beyond measure. And when we start to think it from a business point of view and building an asset, if we start to think of each member of our team as a profit center, not just an expense, they could help drive revenue significantly. So where are you thinking that you need to do it all? I think that's probably the question there that I want to outline. And then asset number 5, your mission and your purpose. This one is so subtle and forgotten about, but so powerful. When your business is rooted in a strong, cohesive mission that people want to be a part of, that is an asset, because mission creates community. It creates loyalty. It creates word of mouth and awareness and advocacy. People want to work with people who are aligned. And when that is happening and you're aligned with why you started this whole thing in the first place, people feel that. And that feeling is an asset, because people buy on feeling and back it up with logic. And more important, you feel it. So speak your mission back to life. If you haven't seen your mission, I read mine almost weekly. Speak your mission back to life in your marketing, in your daily rituals. People want to stand with you in something, and conscious business owners are looking for something to stand with you in this market these days. We have our what's that called? Bullshit meters up high these days. So we're looking for no fluff. We're looking for real energy and real movement towards something beyond the service and the product, which is great. And that creates alignment for them. That creates alignment for you. And alignment creates an asset. It creates success, and it creates it faster than time ever will. So if time is an issue for you, if you feel like, oh, this is taking too long, go back to your mission, go back to your purpose, go back to your values aligned clarity statements, if you will, and anchor into them, because This will pull you forward and will create things quicker than, doing it just sort of like tactical, practical. This is super helpful in marketing. I think this is where marketing, tapping into your mission and your movement and why you do this work is so important, because it actually helps with the heavy lift of selling and makes it easier for you. Just so you know, I'm doing all these things right beside you as I'm building assets in my business. And here's the cool thing. These assets, I want to connect it to basically 5 different types of capital. And I know, another money term. I'm a money coach. What do you expect? And capital being the bucket the asset is in. And I see it this way. Asset number 1, our existing clients, is relationship capital, trust capital. Asset number 2, intellectual property, is our knowledge capital. Audience, asset number 3, is our attention capital. So important these days, capturing attention. Asset number 4, our team capital, is operational capital. And asset number 5, our mission, our identity, and our brand capital. They're just, when we line it out like that, when I wrote that out, I was like, this is how businesses build and grow faster. So here the point is, the bottom line, most women think they need to build something new to make money. And I don't believe that's necessarily true. And it isn't necessarily nervous system relieving either. It actually ramps that up. So everything that I spoke about a lot in the first season is about our, navigating our nervous system when it comes to money. When we need to think we need to build and keep up and do all that, we're not supporting our nervous system. So very often the next level of revenue in your business isn't something new at all. It's actually an asset you're sitting on already. So that's the bottom line. If you have any questions or comments or awarenesses or want to know more, or want me to take a look at your hidden assets in your biz, schedule some time with me and let's build your asset together. And link to scheduling that is in the show notes. And if this episode landed for you, I bet there is another woman who needs less money drama and more intentional money design and assets in their life. Please share it. I would be so grateful. And remember, you were made for money, and money was made to move through women like you. Until next week, bye for now.